a bunch of people jumping on from all over the world, and we will be recording this session. So each and every single one of you guys will be able to jump on and watch the recording at a later time. We're going to go ahead and get started here in the next 30, 40 minutes. We're going to be opening up the doors and opening up your eyes, I believe, for a lot of you guys that are here as first-time guests. Now, I need to know inside the chat box really quickly, where is it that you guys are tuning in from? Okay, where is it that you guys are tuning in from? I'm going to go ahead and enable the chat box right now. So if we can get that done, admin, at the same time, enable the chat box for me so everyone can go ahead and drop in. Where is it that they're tuning in from? Really quickly. There we go. I believe the chat box is now enabled. Let me know inside the chat box where you guys tuning in from. There we go. I see the UK, Nashville, UK, Liverpool, Poland, Slovenia, people from all over the world. I'm based out of right now, sunny Miami, Florida. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Jay Awal. I'm one of the educators here inside this platform. And over the next 3 days, we're going to be walking you guys through a lot of value. Okay, we're going to start today by explaining really what is trading for all of you guys that are brand new here in the room today. Why should you learn trading if that's something that you're looking for? And also, why is it that you would choose to learn inside of our academy here inside of TBX? Now, if you're brand new and you've never heard of this platform before, if you've never heard of day trading, or maybe you've heard of it, but never really got a start or never got educated inside the platform, go ahead and drop me inside the chat box, new inside the chat box. And this call is going to be tailored exactly for you. Now, I've been inside this platform for the last 5 years. I've had the opportunity to work alongside some of the greatest inside this industry. And today you're not only going to hear from myself, but you're also going to hear from Mr. Jay Bonham and Mr. Evan Cabral, two other of my fellow educators inside the platform. And our goal today is really simple: to take you from where you're at right now to where it is that you want to go, and go ahead and open up the doors for each and every single one of you guys inside of the world of trading. Now, as you guys know, the world is rapidly changing. Right now, there are so many things going on inside of our economy and inside of our governments and inside of our bank accounts, right? There's so many things that are going on. And the question that a lot of us ask ourselves is, what is the solution? And about 5 years ago, I asked myself that same question. I remember working 2 jobs at the same time, a full-time student in college, and I just was looking for a way out. I was looking for a supplemental income stream. I was looking for a way to be able to take control of my finances where I didn't have to rely on anyone else. And that's the theme of these next 3 days. Everyone drop the word control inside the chat box, because I really believe that you should be in control of your own future. And if you have a digital skill set that enables you to not just control your finances, but allows you to control your future, your plans, your goals, with location independence and unlimited income potential, and learning from one of the best companies to do so, then I really believe that your future looks bright. And that's what I want to go ahead and open up the doors for you today. So here's the game plan, the itinerary for you guys today is we want to put the control back in your hands. We want to give you guys back the power. And I believe right now that a lot of people are struggling just because of what's going on. Now, I'm based in the United States, but I'm pretty sure the problem is all around the world, right? We see all around the world that there is an issue economically going on. And this is why trading, I believe, is so powerful and why you're here to learn it. Right now, we have unrelenting inflation taking a toll around the world, leaving more and more people paycheck to paycheck. We see food, gas, and rents at all-time highs across all major cities around the world. We see the employment rates going up and being replaced with robots. Drop a 111 in the chat if you have noticed that jobs are starting to replace what humans used to work with technology and with robots. And this is a problem, right? As the future goes ahead and keeps on developing, we have 2 types of people. We have types of people that say, hey, this is something that we can't do anything about. I can't wait for things to go back the way that they were. Another type of person says, hey, I'm willing to change what I am doing and who I am so I can position myself ahead of the trend, okay? Position myself ahead of the trend. And if we're able to do that and position ourselves ahead of the trend, then I really believe that trading is one of those skill sets. So contrary to popular belief, is it the best time to start learning a digital skill set? Although right now may be the worst of times for some people, right? It's difficult times for some people. It also is the best of times for others. Statistics have shown over the last 2 years that records are being broken in countries for the most amount of millionaires being created due to digital skill sets, not because of this platform, but because of all platforms. People are breaking records. People are creating generational wealth in one generation, and it's because of this thing called technology. Now, I'm a big advocate on digital skills because I don't want to have to rely on anyone, any government, any job, anything. I want to be able to rely on me. Everyone drop the word me inside the chat box because you want to be able to rely on you, on me, right? And the only way you can do that is to fight this invisible enemy is with an invisible weapon. And those invisible weapons are digital skill sets. Now, there's so many different ways that you can learn digital skill sets, from online real estate arbitrage and Airbnb arbitrage and e-commerce. And there are literally dozens of things that you can choose from. Here's why I decided to learn trading. And if you guys agree with me, then go ahead and drop some yeses inside the chat box. But trading doesn't require any customers. I don't need to wait for someone to see value in my product. I don't need a real estate. I don't need a location. I don't need an office. I don't need a degree. I don't need credentials. You don't need experience. You don't need to be a specific size, color, or race. You can be who you are right now, no matter what has happened to you in the past. You can decide today, I'm going to learn the skill set of trading, and you're going to be able to literally enter one of the world's largest markets in the world that the wealthy have been participating in for decades, but that now you and I, average folk, average people that work from home, full-time moms, full-time dads, full-time employees, have an opportunity to take part in this game. And this game is the money game. And what we're talking about on today's call is how to make sense of it and how to really understand trading. So what I'm going to do is really quickly, I'm going to break down, all right? And I want you guys to go ahead and look at my screen. As I do so, I'm going to explain something to you guys that really was the major reason why I decided to learn the skill set of trading. And as you guys do look at my screen here today, and you see what's on my screen, let me go ahead and make sure you guys can see that. I want to go ahead and recommend to you a book that changed everything for me in terms of my mindset. And this book was by the gentleman right there named Robert Kiyosaki, and it's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, chapter 1 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad explained to me something that literally went against everything I learned as a kid growing up. Chapter 1 says, the rich don't work for money. The poor and middle class work for money, and the rich have money work for them. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen money grow legs and clock in at work. I've never seen money, right, grow arms and push the wheelbarrow to go ahead and build the construction and the highways and the buildings. So I've never understood the concept of having my money work for me. And therefore, because I never understood it, I've never seen the benefit of learning skill sets like trading. It wasn't until I read this book that my entire mentality shifted. And I realized that I had been working, exchanging my time my entire life. And I realized the only way to create wealth is to be an entrepreneur and have a system. Everyone drop the word system inside the chat box. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. And we have what I believe to be the best system right now on the market to help people just like you learn how to become day traders with the little bit of time that you have, 1 to 2 hours a day. And we're going to show you how to do it. And we're going to give you some value and understand why you can do it inside the market. But the first thing that I need to cover for you guys before I pass it over to one of the next speakers is, what does trading even mean? What are you trading and what are you investing in on a daily basis? What do you trade when we day trade here inside of TBX? Well, inside of TBX, what we're trading is in the global foreign exchange market. We're trading in the commodities market. We're trading in the futures market, right? We're looking at all these different markets and trading things like gold, the euro, the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, and we're taking part of what you're already participating in right now. Most of you don't know that you're already trading. Most of you don't know that your bank account is being leveraged, and most people that have a bank account, the banks are trading your money for you. Most of you don't know that your retirement accounts are trading accounts, life insurance, trading account, where they're trading it on your behalf and they're giving you a small piece of the pie. Remember, our goal is to help you guys be able to take back that control and learn a skill set that's going to be able to make you the person that's in control, the person that's the money manager, all with 1 to 2 hours a day that you're able to put into a platform like this and learn. So contrary to popular belief, let's break down some 2 keywords before we pass it over to the next speaker. And the words that I'm going to go ahead and write on the whiteboard here for you today are the words buy and sell. Now, I need you guys to drop inside the chat box. What does the word buy to you mean? What does the word buy to you mean? The word buy and sell. I'm going to drop buy over here. All right. What does that mean to you? All right. Buy. And then we're going to drop over here the word sell. All right. Drop inside the chat box. What does the word buy mean to you? And I'm going to explain the difference between the word buy that you use on a regular basis and what it means in trading. So buy for the average person, correct, means purchase. Okay. What that means is if I buy this iPhone, I'm obtaining possession of it. You're going to hear Evan and Jay Bonham use the word buys and sells, but they're not talking about possession. What they're talking about is a price direction buy-in. Different types of trends. And when you learn about the trends, you're going to learn that the word buy means that I enter the market believing that the market's going to go up. When I enter the market believing that the market's going to go up, using probability and patterns, as the market goes up, I'm able to make a profit. If the market goes against me, then I'm able to have an accepted loss. What most people don't realize, including my own mother, when I decided to start trading, is that trading isn't gambling. Trading is actually probability-based risks that are using patterns, just like probability-based risk that a doctor is diagnosing your problem, or a lawyer, or any other profession that uses clues and examples, and they diagnose something to be able to determine what's actually happening. So when we say the word buy, what we're actually saying is we bought the market at this price, and as the market goes up, we make money. But if the market goes down, we would lose money. But guess what? We have what's called a stop loss. Everyone drop stop loss in the chat box. Stop loss means that the market, if it goes against you, you're able to have an accepted loss. You see, we use what's known as a 1 to 3 risk to reward. What that means is we're risking $1 to make $3. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in a country where if you got a 33.3% on any test or in any class, you were known as what's called a failing student. How many of you guys agree? Drop a yes or no in the chat box. In your country right now, if you got a 33.3% average in your class, you would be considered failing. Yes in the chat box. Well, guess what? In the trading world, every trade that we set up and every trade that we teach here inside of TBX, here inside of our platform, our education, through our sessions that you're going to learn about over these next 3 days, we always use a 1 to 3 risk to reward, which changes the game. Because if you weren't the smartest student in class like me, that means you can be a 33.3% average trader, winning only 33.3% of your trades, and you can be a profitable trader. You see, my mother didn't realize this when she told me, Jay, don't do trading. That's like gambling. She didn't know that I don't have to risk everything, that I can choose to risk $1 to make $3. And as long as I'm just a little bit decent, I'm going to be a profitable trader. On the contrary, when we say the word sell, in a downtrending market that Evan's going to explain to you here in just a few minutes, you go ahead and say the word sell. And what that means is that means we sold the market at a specific price. Wait a minute. Does that mean that you can make money when the markets go down? It absolutely does. If I sell the market because I recognize patterns that the market's telling me, and we're going to teach you these patterns, we're going to teach you these strategies, and we're going to give you the scanners and softwares that makes this easier than ever before, you make money when the market goes down. As the market goes down, you make money because that was your bias. And if the market goes up, because you said it was going to sell out, you said it was going to go down, you would lose money. And very similarly in this scenario, you have a stop loss. So if the market goes up against you, it gets you out of the trade. And if the market goes down, you can have what's called your take profit that gets you out of the trade automatically as well. As the market goes down, you make money. So all those people that were like, Jay, how do you feel about crypto going down? I bet you wish you would have never gotten involved in that thing. I'm like, you silly rabbit. You didn't know you can make money when the markets go down. And it's all about patterns. It's all about understanding the market structure, and psychology. So now that you know the difference between the words buy and sell in modern culture and trading terminology, now you guys are ready for the next speaker to go ahead and explain market structure and how it is that we can identify buys and sells using patterns in the market. Everyone drop a 222 in the chat if you've already got some free value and you learned something new on today's day trading masterclass. You've officially now know the lingo of what a buy and sell is. It's not a purchase. And it's not a selling of a product. It's actually the entry for a position in the market that you believe it's going to go up. That's a buy. And a sell is an entry inside the market at a price point where you believe it's going to continue downwards. You also realize through my training here today that you don't need to be smart to be a successful trader. You just got to know the rules. And I grew up thinking rules were meant to be broken, not inside the trading markets. What we're going to share with you over these next 3 days is going to be absolutely pivotal for helping you create your supplemental income stream. Maybe that exit strategy into a new career, maybe learning a new skill set that'll give you the freedom and location independence that you've been looking for. You're smart. You realize that the times are changing, and you know that if you don't change along with those times, you will be left behind. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this free training over the next 3 days, because we don't want you to be left behind. We want you to be able to jump on the train to trading and be able to learn the skill set that has changed my life and changed many other lives inside of this platform. If you're inside this platform today as a student and you're jumping on this call, accompanying one of the guests that you brought on here today, drop a $ in the chat if it's impacted your life already. This next speaker that I'm going to bring up is someone that I've studied for the last 3 years. He's a mentor of mine and now one of my business partners. I used to watch his sessions and see him at events and be like, man, I can't wait to be as successful as he is one day. And today, not only is he one of my best friends inside of this business, someone that's going to be at my wedding this coming December, but he's also someone that I hold very close to my heart. And I know that God has very special things in store for him. He's impacted thousands of people. And one of the featured traders in our Blaze app that you're going to be hearing about tomorrow on day 2 with Mr. Christian Lopez. So don't leave. Make sure you guys blast this link out. Tomorrow is going to be another great day. And let's go ahead and bring up our next trainer, Mr. Evan Cabral, Blaze app extraordinaire, TBX educator, and legend in the game, the mentor of mentors. Evan, are you here, brother? They're excited to learn more about market structure from you and how it is that they can identify the patterns that you teach on a daily basis. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right. What's up, guys? Thank you, bro. Happy to be on the call. What's up, everybody? Can everybody hear me good? Can everybody see me? We're going to get this started. We're going to continue. We're going to keep it basic. We're going to keep it basic for you guys. Continue off of some of the stuff Jay was talking about here not too long ago about the markets. And I'm ready to get it started, ready to give you guys some value today. All right. Everybody can hear me good, though? How's the audio, Jay? Audio good?
Sounds good. Let's rock.
Sounds good. Awesome stuff. So Jay just went into a little bit about the market and talking about uptrends and downtrends and how we trade. And I just wanted to add on to that just a little bit more for you guys. So there's times where the market is going to be in an uptrend, and there's times where the market's going to be in a downtrend. Now, these trends can last anywhere from weeks to several months. So we try to take advantage of that when we're looking at the market. We try to identify what is the overall trend of the current market. Are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? Being able to identify that makes things much easier for us, because then we have a bias towards which way we should be trading the market. So I like to try to identify what trend am I in? Am I in the uptrend or am I in a downtrend? If I can't identify that, then I like to just stay away from the charts until it becomes clear to me. So remember, uptrends and downtrends, they can last anywhere from several weeks to months at a time. And I'm going to show you real quick here on the chart what I mean. So this is our chart here in front of us. And this is actually a chart on, if you look in the top left corner, guys, silver. So in these markets, the great thing about these markets is we have different things that we can trade. We have different instruments that we can trade. We have commodities, which is like gold, and silver. We have currency pairs like the euro versus the US dollar. We have indices like US 30, and then even cryptocurrencies, stocks, right? Bitcoin. There's many different things we can trade. And the great thing about our academy is that we have different individuals that specialize in each thing. Me personally, I like to trade what's called commodities. So that's metals, gold, and silver. That's what I like to focus on. That's what I specialize in. But I know a handful of educators who like to trade currency pairs more or cryptocurrency pairs more. That's the great thing about our academy. Like I said, is we specialize to each individual. Everyone's different and everyone has their own kind of secret sauce to the market. But like I was talking about, uptrends, downtrends, these things can last for some time. If we look at silver, for example, if we look at February, I'm going to put a line on the chart for you guys real quick. If we look at February, up over here, where I put this line, and let's go all the way to March. March is down here. So when I look at that month, when I look at that time frame, because remember, the markets, they can trend for weeks or even months. So if we look at this chart, we can look at silver and we can see how in February, what did the market do in February, guys? Type in the chat. Was it in a downtrend? Did it lose value? Right? What was the market doing in February? How did silver perform in February? I'm looking at the chat. Okay, perfect, right? One person said uptrend. No, we were in a downtrend. So that whole month, people were selling their silver. Because when you're buying silver, right, you can buy it online through like brokers and platforms. When you're buying it, you're paying in US dollars to buy the silver. But a lot of people must have been selling silver in that month because the whole entire month, the market went down, right? The whole entire month, the market went down. So that's basically, right, almost 30 days, the market was dropping. It lost value that month. Now, if we look at the chart in front of us real quick, let's take a look at like March now. March, if we look at the month of March, so there's a line at the beginning of March. And where does March end? March finishes right here. So from one line to another, that was March. So the entire month of March was in an uptrend. At some point, we might be able to recognize we're in an uptrend. That's the current temperature of the market. The cool thing about the market is it'll have like a climate to it, like a weather forecast. And sometimes you know when the market's hot, sometimes you know when the market's cold. And vice versa. Sometimes you know when the market's in an uptrend, sometimes you know when the market's in a downtrend. How do we know that? Well, experience. I have 8 years in these markets. So I've been watching trends for a long, long time. But we could see the entire month. So anyone who was buying silver in March, right, even from the beginning, it went down a bit. But anyone who was buying silver in March would have definitely turned over a profit or would have, gained value, could have made money. People who were selling in March, short term, we're going to talk about that on other sessions. And we do talk about that in our academy. That's a whole different topic. But overall, the market went up in the month. And now we're in a new month, right? Now we're in a new month. We're in April. So where does the market go, right? We just started April. And so far, the market has been trending up more. So we want to see if the markets can continue more in this month, pull back, continue more. It's a possibility looking at how the market has been going. They say the trend is your friend. in these markets. The trend is your friend. You want to identify that trend and try to stick to it. Same thing with gold. Gold, like I said, I like to trade the metals. I like silver. I like gold. I like trading those things. Same thing with gold. Gold has been in a huge uptrend since March, right? February, the price of gold was dropping, but since March, gold has been in a straight uptrend. And I heard Jay talk about it in the beginning, how the world's changing. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. You hear about all this stuff on the news. That's part of why gold has gone up the way it has recently. So when we look at structure, I'm going to end this off in a few minutes, pass it on to the next educator soon. So don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. We still have some more information to go over. One more little lesson just on structure. Again, this is basic. We're keeping it basic for you guys here today, right? Uptrend, downtrend, market structure. When we look at gold, quick little analysis here to understand maybe a bit more. So I can see the market has been going up for over a month now on gold, right? We've seen the market push up. We've seen it pull back, push up, pull back, push up. The market has found its way higher, right? So recently we had a pullback, which led us into a previous area where the market was selling right around $2,000, right around $2,000. Actually, the market was selling. We've broken, these are some trading terms. The market has broken above there and has pulled back. So when we look at structure, we're looking at kind of something like this. The market has made a swing high and it's pulled down. And we're looking for that next push up. When we kind of look at the structure of things here, we could call this that swing high potentially. And the market came down, swing low. Let's go back to here. So we've potentially created that swing high and pulled back to swing low to potentially continue. That's how I look at this in terms of like understanding the overall trend of things, understanding like the market has been trending for some time now, over a month. So it's better to stick with that trend until it shows us the trend is broken. So they always say the trend is your friend, guys. To learn more about this, guys, to learn more about this information that we've been talking about, be sure to tune into our academy. We have so many pre-recorded videos, so much content, so much information on this stuff. I have 8 years of experience. We have a handful of educators who have so much experience in the market and just provide knowledge. And in this day and age, knowledge is the new currency. Information is the new currency. The more you know, the higher you can move in life. That's how I look at things. That's how I look at knowledge and information. And being in an environment like this is really key because you're surrounded by individuals who have that knowledge, who have that experience. So I'm going to pass it on to the next educator for you guys here. I'm going to pass it on to Jay. He's a great all-around trader. He has an amazing eye for the market. So don't go anywhere. Pay attention to what he has to say because this guy knows what he is talking about. So I'm going to pass it to you guys. I hope you guys got some value here. Remember, tomorrow is day 2. I'll see you guys on the sessions. Peace out, peace out, peace out.
Love it, love it. Thank you so much, Evan. Guys, put some love, put some fire emojis in that chat for Mr. Evan Cabal. He is one of our long-term educators, 8 years experience, one of the professionals that you get to find in our academy. I've been trading here. I'm a product of the product. The one thing that Evan had experience before he got here, I actually learned through this company. So what you guys are going to get access to is what actually turned me into a professional trader, turned me into a guy who could essentially create his own strategy, go from knowing nothing in the charts to being able to educate people, hundreds of people on my calls every morning, where I get the ability and the opportunity to show people what I've learned through this academy. And I'm not going to go, and we're probably going to stop sharing the screen here. We're going to shift from sharing, talking a little bit about the trading call. We're going to leave that to Evan. Evan has that all locked down with how he's showing you, easy trend, easy things to identify in the market. These are kind of the first places where you can see what that market is doing. He talks about trend is our friend. That is something that we repeat as a mantra in our trading. So we all know that we're looking for direction and being able to follow the direction of the markets. But as we talk about this more, as we talk about how we got started, how we got into this business and into the education, is through the academy itself. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just take a few minutes here to kind of show you guys what you have access to and the amount of educators just in TBX, in time-based. We're going to talk a little bit about what TBX is and the two options you have when you kind of join the academy. First thing we have is something called Binary Pro, which is the fastest type of trading you can find. It's getting in the markets. It's being able to find simple direction. It's as easy as saying, we think it's going to go up. This is what we're going to take. We think it's going to go down. This is what we're going to take. It gives us that ability, right, to be able to take those easy, quick movements in the market. Okay. Simple. Okay. The next thing we're going to show you guys is he just spotlighted me so you guys can see me now. So I'm not up in the corner. Probably should have done that before I started talking, but sometimes I just got to roll. I just got to get into that rant. So the second thing we're going to show you is where to find these people, where to find these things that you guys can see on my board. Get patient. Something that's super, super important with the mindset of what we have here in trading. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to show you how you get access to it and where you would find it, and the simplicity of being able to log in and follow along with educators. I'm on the other side of that TBX. I'm teaching you how to scalp. Now, one thing Jay talked about in the beginning here was talking about, finding his ability to get in the market and get out of the market, right? We want to, the one thing that happened for me when I got here to trading is I went through, I learned multiple strategies. I found different ways of trading, and I found my way into what type of trader I wanted to be. And everybody's going to be different types of traders. I have a bit of an addictive personality. I'm a guy who, if I get into intraday trading, and intraday means, we're holding trades for multiple days, I'm looking at my phone while I'm sleeping, wondering what trades are doing. And that just wasn't what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for the opportunity to trade what I was doing, maybe my 8 to 10 hour a day job, with trading for 8 to 10 hours a day. I was looking for the opportunity to trade that, to be efficient with how I made my money, make money from my money, and be as efficient as possible so I can get in the market, be in the market 5, 10, 15 minutes, be done for the day. That's what I was looking for, because I didn't have the ability to give that time to sitting here and trading for 8 to 10 hours a day. That wasn't what I was looking for. What I was looking for, because I wanted to find a different life. I wanted to find the ability to get in the markets and get out of the markets, make my money, and have my life. What I was really looking to do was to find a new way to live. Because once you can get that back, you get your time. And Jay talked about it in the beginning. The greatest commodity we possess is time. Whatever we're putting our time to, you can't get time back. So we wanted to make sure, and what I was looking for here, and I didn't come here because I was looking for a way to make money because we were in a position. I was just looking for a way to be more efficient. We have a digital marketing agency. Things were doing quite well. I wanted to be able to spend more time with my family. 100%. My why, you always want to talk about, if your why is strong enough, then how doesn't matter. And my why when I got here was I just wanted to be with my family more. I wanted to be as efficient with my money, learn to create income a different way, get on the charts for a couple hours a day, an hour a day, and be able to find the time to spend with my family. Right. And then, during pandemic, I decided to pop out a couple more kids, and I got 4 of them. So I need as much time as I got to be able to give them all the time they need. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going to show you the list of educators who you're going to have access to. Okay. So what we do, the first thing we do, we log in to our IM center. One thing we do here through our Go Live platform is this is where the money, this is where the sauce is. This is the thing. This is the thing when I signed up where I was like, oh my God, this is what I get access to. When I signed up, I was like, yeah, sure, I get to go through the videos of the academy. I get to learn. I get to, figure out what margins and pips and all those basic terms were. I get to go in and learn it. But what was super important to me was I literally could go and pick my mentor. I could go through here and pick my mentor and be like, who do I want to follow? Who fits the type of trading I am? Who fits the type of trader I want to be? Who works with my timeline? The one thing that's super important here is it has to starts as that side hustle, right? Because a lot of us still got to go work those day jobs. We need to find our side hustle so we can turn that into our main hustle, put you into a position where you're like, hey, I don't want to go to work anymore. How many people want to have that opportunity or be able to ask themselves that question, be like, you know what, maybe this is all I'm going to do. And that's what we want to teach you here, right? We want to teach you that path to that other side of life. And how we do that is by connecting you to mentors in the space. Okay. Educators who have done it, who've walked that path. I started here 3.5 years ago with no experience. We're blessed to be in TBX, which later on in these days, I think either on the last day, you're going to get to see Dr. Josh Lee and Brandon Boyd, TBX educators. 3.5 years I started here with no experience. 2 months ago, I got elevated with what I'd learned, things I'd done, and I'm now an educator under TBX. And in 2 months, after 3.5 years, starting with nothing, starting knowing nothing, 2 months into being an educator, I'm top 5 in the whole academy. Okay. And we can scroll this. You can see we're going to go and we see Mr. J over here as well. Our binary pro that we're talking about. We got Doc there. We got Mr. J Wall. Okay. You can see that we are the #1 academy for people coming in and watching. We are crowding the top 10 here. Okay. So what you do is you log in, you go into the sauce, go live. This gives you access to your professional educators, the people who can teach you the strategies so you get in this market and have an advantage over it. Okay. Okay. And all you have to do is scroll into your go live. This is after you've joined the academy. You scroll into your go live. You scroll down to the bottom. You just look TBX Academy. As you can see, we have multiple academies, but TBX is where you want to go. This is our time-based trading strategies. Okay. Which we talk about binary pro. We also talk about scalping in the market, taking these short-term movements and getting our returns. Now you get to scroll. Now look at all these educators. Kimberly Torres, she's been here since I started learning. Okay. There's, the J's, right? We got Jay Bonham and we got Jay AOL, both of us on this call. Both of us, our strategies complement each other so much. It's something pretty crazy when we get to start to share back and forth in the chats about where direction we're taking and that type of thing. And then you have Dr. Josh Lee and Brandon Boyd, who we just saw in the top as well. Daniel, who's here, and Christian, who helps run the whole thing. We have all these amazing educators. There's my man Evan at the bottom. All these amazing educators you get access to. And if you look on the side, whatever time works for you, you can make work, right? You have 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 9, right? We got 11. We got times all day long. Okay. You got nighttime. You got Evan, who loves to be out here trading in London session. He's the guy who's trading at night. You have access. You can make this fit around what you need to do. Okay. That's the one thing that's super important about this academy is it's going to put you in a position to fit this around your life until it can be what you want to do. Right. We start, like I said, it starts as a side hustle. Now that's your access. Super easy. You can come in here and be like, what works for me? Right. What timeline is going to work around my schedule so I can get educated? Okay. And in order to take this kind of to the next level, what I want to do now here, I'm going to stop my share. Okay. Spotlight's going to come back up. What I want to do is I want to bring up a guy who's been with me for a while. He's 3 years into this business. He is somebody who is in TBX every morning. My man RT, Mr. Ryan Thomas. Go ahead and undo your look at your camera up. There you go. Get unmuted. Thank you, RT. And yeah, sorry I didn't get to the other language. Annika just reminded me that there's plenty other languages too, and I could have clicked on the other languages and you could have saw. So, Mr. RT, my man, tell me how TBX has put you into a position. We know, fill people in a little bit on life and tell me how TBX has put you in a position, to live a different life. Make sure you unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Jay. Always a pleasure when you invite me to come out here and speak with this. So But I'll try to be quick. I like to try to speak to the people that, the brand new people that are on here that are watching this, that are wondering, what it's all about. But like Jay said, I've been here for 3 years, and much like a chart that goes, I would say, on an overall uptrend, the entire time I've been here, you're learning personal self-development. You're learning about yourself. You're learning how to trade. You hit some of those areas where you have a little bit of a pullback. And I think the most important part here is that you have the community, you have these educators. They help you stay accountable. I think if I was to go out here and do this on my own over the last 3 years, trying to figure it out without having go live, without having some of these strategies to support, I don't know if my success rate would be the same. And, from a guy that, like most of these guys said, had no education. I didn't really, I wasn't the best in school. I have that same story that most entrepreneur minded people do. Like, you're going to sit me in a class and make me learn this stuff. I couldn't do it. But this was online education. I was able to log on whenever, when I could, especially at the beginning when I was bartending a little bit more. But now, I bartend 3-4 nights a week. I've been able to leave my job as like being a professional restaurant manager, and I'm able to log on. I get connection with Jay. I actually watched Evan so much in the first couple of years of doing this thing too, until I honed into the strategy that I wanted. And now, they've given me the tools and resources. And when times are tough and when you don't think you can do it, there's accountability. You have somebody that's with you. You usually have a community or people that are surrounding you that are checking in on you. So, it's been 3 years. There's been lots of ups and downs. I wouldn't change it for the world. The person that I'm becoming, just the work that we've been able to do. I have Rich Dad Poor Dad right behind me. I'm reading more books than I ever did. And it just puts you in this mindset to go after it and holds you accountable on your way to the goals, because, success isn't always a straight road. There's going to be some ups and downs. And I'm just super, super grateful that I've had this community, that I've had these people to guide me through the whole thing. So thanks so much, Jay, for bringing me on. And I hope everybody comes and checks this out for the next 2 days, because you need it in your life.
I love it, man. Thank you, RT. I know we could talk about how many times a day you message and how much support you get. We love you, brother. And like I said, we just getting started, man. We're sharing our journeys along this way, and everybody needs to know that this is you're on your journey. And we find the love in the process along the way. And you have access to guys like Jay Wall, Evan. You have all these other educators that can lead you through that direction. Now, quickly, before I pass this off to my brother Jay to close us down, I'm just going to run through quickly. I'm not going to share slides, but I'm just going to kind of drop the prices so you guys understand that how much it costs to get a part of our business. And so we have our option to grab just TBX as standalone package. It starts at, you have a one-time starting cost of $249. Super easy to get started. And I'll tell you, man, when we talk about price, I'll tell you a quick story here before I pass off to Jay, because it makes me laugh when I think about it now and I go back, because I had looked at trading before I came here. I had looked into companies that were going to charge me $5,000, $10,000, and I'd have to sit at my desk 8 to 10 hours a day. I would have to, be with them. I have to, if I wanted to trade with an educator or a professional, I'd have to have a percentage of profits, all these ridiculous things these trading companies would do. I looked at trading before I ever found me. And I'm a firm believer in that whatever's meant for you in this world is going to find you. And it just depends on what you're going to do in those moments and those opportunities. And what happened was, a really good friend of mine I hadn't talked to in years, he was just scrolling his phone, called me. We hadn't talked in 6.5 years, just called me out of the blue. And he was like, "Hey man, you ever been interested in trading?" And of course I was like, "Yeah, man, I've been looking into trading for like a year." And the first thing was, I was like, "What's the cost?" Because I was expecting him to say, a couple grand, $5,000, whatever. So he's like, "Oh, it's a couple $100 a month." And I was like, and you guys all can laugh, but I was like, literally, I was like, what kind of scam you put me into? Because to think that I could get access to an academy and educators for a couple $100 a month, when these other places, like the one company's gonna charge me 10 G's. I was like, I could stay here for 4 years and do that. So the cost of what you're getting here, the value that is presented to what you're getting here is like no other. And once you get in, you'll truly understand the value you have your hands on. So $249 to get started, and then it's $184 a month to stay involved. cancel at any time. You're not locked in. The company believes it gives you so much value that you're not going to go anywhere. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to my man Jay to close this thing down. And everybody get excited for Jay to close this down and take it away, my man.
Let's go. Guys, drop some fire emojis inside the chat box. Drop some fire emojis inside the chat box for our brother, fellow trainer and educator,